Hallo, lieber Lerner und Lernerin. Naja, ich freue mich wieder, da zu sein. Beim letzten Mal haben wir uns mit Nomen beschäftigt. Und heute machen wir noch weiter mit den Nomen. During the last lesson, we talked about nouns. And today, German nouns. Today, we are going to do a little revision and be able to see more important things that will help us to understand the centrality and importance of noun in the German language. That's why we have here the structure of human language, or if you like, the structure of human languages. And here we have the language itself is occupying the last space, and then it is the combination of sentences that form the language, and it is the combination of words that form the sentence, and it is the coming together of morphemes that form the word. I say it again. This is the smallest unit of the language, morpheme. When the smallest units come together, either free morpheme or bound morpheme, by the time they come together, they form what we call word. And then the word, when you have several words together, then you have a sentence. But then when you have many sentences and they come together, you have, let me call it a text, or whichever. You can also say there you have the whole content of the language. Well, now coming back to the word. Under the word, we have different levels of word in a sentence. Of course, there is a great connection between all of them. So we have different components of a sentence. And inside a sentence, we have nouns. Inside a sentence, we have verbs. Inside a sentence, we have adjectives. And inside a sentence, we have adverbia, and then other elements in the sentence. It's important we see this so that we understand the position of the nouns that we are working on. So we have it here, and it's a component of a sentence. From what we have done the last time, I just want to remind you some basic things that must be noted. Number one, it is important you learn at least 10 new nouns per day to expand your vocabulary. I repeat, it is important to learn at least 10 new nouns per day to expand your German vocabulary. And as you're learning the nouns, you are checking it up in a bilingual dictionary, either online or you use the hard copy. It's just important that 10 new nouns must be learned or should be learned per day. And as you think about it, you have the English word, you check in a bilingual dictionary the German equivalent, and you have a kind of list on a regular basis that you can be checking to be able to master the nouns. The next thing is that you need to learn the nouns together with their articles. As we said during the last lesson, learn the nouns together with their articles. Remember, we have masculine nouns, feminine nouns, and the neutral nouns. And these are the three gender markers in German. And we need to always learn them together with the noun. While English has only one marker for the definite article, which is the, German has three different gender markers. Der, die, das. We're going to talk more about the article later. Not only that, we need to learn the plural form of nouns. We're going to get to that very soon. Then we learned about the rules for learning the gender, and we know the rules are very good. However, the best method to learn the nouns, the German nouns with the articles, is to learn the German nouns with the article at the same time. I take that again. The rules for learning the German genders are very good, but it has been discovered that the best method to learn the nouns with the articles, to learn the noun, is to learn that noun with the articles at the same time. How do you do that? You pronounce the nouns with the articles loud enough for you yourself to hear, and you do this exercise regularly. I also need to remind you that German nouns are written with initial capital letter. German nouns are written with initial capital letter. I'm going to show you something that will help you to understand this fact that German nouns are written always with initial capital letter. It's at the beginning of the sentence, you write it with initial capital letter. If it's at the middle of the sentence, you write it with initial capital letter. If it's at the end of the sentence, you do the same. You write it with initial capital letter. We're going to see something now that will help us to do this. German nouns are written with initial capital letter. Doesn't matter where it stands in a sentence. And I have, for instance, on the board, we have ich heiße Tolu. Well, we're familiar with this already. Ich heiße Tolu. Here is a noun. Ich spreche Deutsch. Well, this is a new verb. We'll still talk about it later. But then we're looking for the nouns. So we have here Deutsch. And then Guten Morgen. Remember the definition of a noun, name of a place, animals, things. And here we have Guten Morgen. We see the noun here, Morgen. Guten Morgen. We see the noun here. Wie geht es dir? Ich heiße Tolu. Ich spreche Deutsch. Now, all the nouns here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those some are repeated, but the point is the nouns are written with initial capital letter. Well, if you have anything here, this is a pronoun is starting the sentence, that's normal. And if a noun is starting the sentence, it's going to be written automatically with initial capital letter. But the challenge for English learners is just that when it's at the end of a sentence or in the middle of the sentence, we still tend to write it in small letter. In German, it's a serious grammatical blunder. So please master it now. That's why I'm emphasizing it. Is a common mistake in German when nouns are written with, small letter, the initial with initial small letter. Nouns in German, I repeat, they're written with capital letter. So we have the example here. I'm going to read this together with you. As I read, you repeat after me. And I will tell you what we're going to do with this one very soon. Okay. Ich heiße Tolu. Ich heiße Tolu. Say it again. Sehr gut. Ich heiße Tolu. Ich spreche, this word here, spreche. Ich spreche Deutsch. Ich spreche Deutsch. Guten Morgen. We're familiar with that. Say it. Guten Morgen. Wie geht es dir? Ich heiße Tolu. Ich spreche Deutsch. Okay, that's actually a song. I'm going to write it here. Ein Lied. Ein Lied. A song. So we're going to sing it together. You listen to me. I'm going to teach you how to sing this song. And later I'm going to say more about the importance of using songs to accumulate vocabulary. Remember, you need to always increase your vocabulary, and singing is part of what will help you to increase your vocabulary, and a lot of times, even to be able to master the use of nouns with the right article. When you sing with a noun and an article in a song, you have a noun and an article in a song. By the time you sing and you know the song, in the exam hall, you find it easy to just make use of, you'll be able to remember the gender of that particular noun. Okay, we want to sing this one now, and I will sing, just listen. I will sing everything sing the whole thing, and then I will now teach you how to sing it. Ich heiße Tulu, ich spreche Deutsch. Ich heiße Tulu, ich spreche Deutsch. Guten Morgen, wie geht es dir? Ich heiße Tulu, ich spreche Deutsch. I'm going to take it again, and then as I'm singing it, I want you to join me as I'm singing it, and it gets to the time that I'm going to be fast, and I expect you to be fast and sing with me too. Ich heiße Tulu, ich spreche Deutsch. Ich heiße Tulu, ich spreche Deutsch. Guten Morgen, wie geht es dir? Ich heiße Tulu, ich spreche Deutsch. Okay, now for the third time, I'm going to sing, I'm going to be fast. Yeah? If you want to beat some things, go ahead there. So, but I'm going to be fast a bit. I hope by now you can sing it with me, and if not, just listen to it over and over again until you're able to sing it with me. Ich heiße Tulu, ich spreche Deutsch. Ich heiße Tulu, ich spreche Deutsch. Guten Morgen, wie geht es dir? Ich heiße Tulu, ich spreche Deutsch. Okay, looking at the text, just check, is there any word you don't understand in this text? Let's go through it. Ich heiße Tolu, my name is Tolu. Ich spreche Deutsch, I speak German. Okay, guten Morgen, what's the meaning? Good morning. Guten Morgen, what's the meaning? The same thing, good morning. Wie geht es dir? What's the meaning? How are you? And remember, is this formal or informal? Of course, informal. How are you? Wie geht es dir? Ich heiße Tolu, ich spreche Deutsch. So, with that, you have been able to see, and then again, even from the title, you see that this is a noun, and the L is capital initial. Let's master it as we go to the next lesson. Okay, one of the ways to increase our vocabulary is with the use of association. And this is going to make you to walk. What do you mean by that? That you take a German word and you think of what are the things that you can associate with that word. And then you begin to think and you fill in the gap until you have a lot of words or association to that single word. Here is an example. We have just hobby. You remember that word? We talked about it during the last lesson. Just hobby. And the question is, when I hear the word that's hobby, what comes to my mind? What do I think of? That is the association. Just hobby. And as it comes, you think of, I have one example there, lesen. And also, many other things comes to mind, as we did yesterday. Musik hören. Musik hören. And then we can also have Radfahren. Okay, and it's possible to also have reisen. Okay, well, it's possible some people have schlafen. At least when you think of hobby, what comes to your mind, generally speaking, not your own, but generally speaking, what comes to mind? Then you think of, okay, listening to music, traveling, reading, you carrying bike around, at least you travel with bike or you go around with bike, and many other things that some other people may say is playing football, Fußball spielen. Fußball spielen. Fußball spielen. So we have here, of course, there can still be several, we can still have many of that, depending on what comes to your mind as you think of the word that's hobby. And this will help you to have a very large volume of words and to increase, to expand your nouns, to accumulate and to get so many nouns, to extend your nouns. So this is an example. We have another example here. Now, I want to give it to you. I want you to also join me as we do this assignment together. Die Schule. The Schule simply means the school. What comes to your mind when you hear the Schule? Of course, I have one there. Schule, that is, we have the pupils. Not only that, what comes to your mind? We have Ausflüge. Ausflüge means excursion. Okay, die Schule. Here we have another noun, and for you to work on your own and develop and expound your nouns, to increase, to have more nouns with association, here we have the Schule, and we're going to do it together now. What can you think of when you hear the Schule? And that means the school. So I have one here. We have Schule, that is the pupils, and then Ausflüge, excursion, yeah, depending on the kind of school you go. And not only that, we have Schulfreunde. Definitely, if you go to school, I mean, if you think of Schule, you think of friends in the school. Not only that, we think of Ferien. That's the new word. Ferien. That's holiday. Ferien. Not only that, we think of Hausaufgabe. Hausaufgabe. I'll write it here. Hausaufgabe. That is homework. As you think of school, there is the Schule, that is the pupils. There is the Schulfreunde, definitely you think of school, yeah. And then you have Ausflüge, that is excursion. And then you think of Ferien, talking about vacation, yeah, compulsory. And then Hausaufgabe, that is homework. And also we have, you can't talk of school without talking of Klassenzimmer. Klassenzimmer simply means the classroom you use that is used in the school. There is no school without classroom. Well, now because of the coronavirus, we have some schools without classroom. But normally speaking, traditionally speaking, there is, once you think of a school, you think of Klassenzimmer. I would still like to write that somewhere here. Klassenzimmer. Klassenzimmer. Okay, Klassenzimmer. So this association will be an helper. We assist, we help in forming more words, associating more words into a single word. And by so doing, you'll be expounding your knowledge of new nouns in the language. Okay, we quickly go to the last one, which is die Familie. Just think about it. Die Familie. Die Familie simply means the family. When you hear the family, die Familie, say it after me, die Familie. Again, nochmal, die Familie. Okay, that is the family. Now, what comes to mind? Die Familie. Definitely you think of, I have one here, Vater, der Vater. Write the article, der Vater. Say it, der Vater. And then we have die Mutter. Die Mutter. Okay, so we have the Mutter, and then we have many, of course, we have der Sohn. Yeah, der Sohn, rather. So we have der Sohn, die Mutter, der Vater. You can keep on and you can continue to increase it. We have also, just think about it. You can also think of, when you talk of a family, you can talk of uncle, the uncle. On and on. Die Tante, das Mädchen. You can just keep on increasing it. So this approach, the use of association as osteogram, will help you to increase your nouns very fast. Okay? And I will just give you 2 words as your homework. You will get the association for these 2 words. You get the association for them. Look for as many words as you can get that you can associate with this word. So I will just give you the 2 words now while I rub off this. I'm going to give you 3. I said 2 before, but it's better I give you 3. That means 3 nouns that you are going to look for other words that can be associated with them. For number 1, the Universität. We have done that during our past lessons. And then the second one, I pronounce again, the Universität. Number 2, der Politiker. Der Politiker. That's a politician. And then number 3, der Coronavirus. That's quite recent. Der Coronavirus. These are the words I want you to put the necessary, you associate it with other words. Remember, you have to write it in German. Yeah? You have to write it in German. If you look at all this, take them one by one, and the way we have done as we are going through the story, the lesson, I want you to also to do the same thing, that you associate a word to like 5, minimum of 5 new German words. Don't forget, put the article, and that will help us to know if you have put the masculine or the feminine or the neutral, and do 5, 5, 5. That means you need minimum of 15 new German words. I want you to use that method to expound your vocabulary, especially in the area of noun.